Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about module number 1, that is factors affecting the sag in overhead lines and calculation of sag at different levels. So first of all, here we are going to discuss about factors affecting the sag in overhead lines. So there are various factors which are affecting that sag in overhead lines. So initially here, weight of the conductors is one of the factor where it affects that sag in overhead lines. So sag is directly proportional to the weight of the conductor. If there is a more weight of the conductor, then more be the sag, which is measured in kg per meters. The next factor is length of the span. Sag is directly proportional to the span length. With increased length, the weight of the conductor also increases. The next, higher the value of span length, then higher the sag measured in meters. Next factor is working tensile strength. Sag is inversely proportional to the working tensile strength and which is measured in kg. Next factor, temperature. Length of the conductor increases with change in temperature between the fixed supports. Because if more is the temperature, then due to extradition, the length of the conductor is increases, there exists that sag. Therefore, sag too will increase if the temperature measured in degrees per centigrade is very high. Next, other factor is called as safety factor. Safety factor is defined as the ratio of ultimate strength of the conductor to the working stress of the conductor is called as safety factor. Safety factor is directly proportional to ultimate strength of the conductor. Next, calculation of sag at different levels. So in many situations we know that overhead lines are placed at somewhat height level from the ground supports. Therefore, in many situations the conductor placed at some level from the ground, and sometimes we can see that the supports are even and supports are not even. That means the two poles or the two towers are at same height of the level or it is unequal level. So earlier class we discussed about that calculation of sag at the same level of towers, but here we are discussing that calculation of sag at different levels where tower 1 is placed at somewhat height level from the ground and tower 2 is placed at some another height of the level from the ground. So it is because in practically we have the places where we need to cross, sometimes it is like small hills and rivers. By the time if you are going to construct the transmission system, then if you look at the height of the towers, that should be unequal. So it is necessary to use supports at different levels. For example, I am given here, it is like small hills and rivers. So here I am taken that one schematic representation which gives that clear information about the heights of the two towers or two poles. So tower 1 or tower A, this is the height from the ground, and tower B, it is that another height from the ground. It is because of geographical difference, then it takes place that unequal levels of the towers which carries that overhead line conductor. So this is that overhead line conductor which is connected between pole A to pole B. Then from pole A to pole B, if I am going to take a point O on this conductor, with respect to point O, S1 is the amount of the sag which is existed between terminal point O to point A, and S2 is the height of the sag which takes place with respect from point O to point B on the overhead line conductor, and X1 is the distance which was offered from terminal A to point O, and X2 is the distance which was offered from tower B to point O, and capital L is the overall length which is existed between the two successive poles, or simply it is also called as span length. And the difference of these two sags like S1 with respect point O to point A and S2 with respect point O to point B, that is H. How it becomes H? Because S2, if you take here S1 plus S2, if you take here S2, and in this S2 is the total length here, in this S2 if I am going to reduce that S1, that means S2 minus S1 if I remove, the remaining H is the height, that is that unequal level of that height between the terminal A, I mean tower A to tower B. So total height is S2. In this S2 I am going to subtract that S1, then S2 minus S1 is equal to H. So where L is equal total span length as we discussed right now, and H is equal difference in the levels, and capital T is equal tension in the conductor. X1 is the distance from point O and from the support A, or from the pole A, or from the tower A, and X2 is the distance from point O or from the support B or pole B or from tower B. We can write as we know that sag basic formula. So S1 is the sag which is existed between terminal support A to point O. Therefore sag S1 we can write mathematical the formula as Wx1 square divided by 2T for sag at tower A. Similarly sag S2, that is Wx2 square divided by 2T, that is equal sag at B. If you see this common formula, sag is directly proportional to weight of the conductor and its length of the conductor, and it is inversely proportional to the tension of the conductor, 2 times to the tension of the conductor. Therefore from the previous figure, as we know that capital L is equal sum of these two lengths like x1 plus x2. Therefore x1 plus x2 is equal capital L, that is the total span length. If x1 and x2 are known, then sags are called as S1 and S2 can be calculated. Therefore as we know that S2 minus S1, that is the difference, W by 2T x2 square minus W by 2T of x1 square. If I am going to take that W by 2T is common here, W by 2T of x2 square minus of x1 square, it becomes as W by 2T A square minus B square. We can write that formula A minus B into A plus B like that, x2 minus of x1 into x2 plus of x1. As we know that from this figure, that is x2 plus x1 is equal capital L. So that's why here x2 plus x1 is replaced with capital L here, W by 2T of x2 minus of x1 into L. So finally we can write the formula S2 minus S1 is equal WL by 2T of x2 minus x1. So and one more thing here, we can observe that the differences of the two sags, that is S2 minus S1 is equal small h, we can observe from this figure. So total sag is S2. Among that if you reduce that S1, that is S2 minus S1 is equal, remaining is that height. So we got that one mathematical relation, S2 minus S1 is equal h at here. Next, here we can write the formula h, that is equal h is equal W by 2T of x2 minus of x1. Then we can write the formula, because here we know the formula h, S2 minus S1 is equal h, that means this is the mathematical formula. So we can write that S2 minus S1 here, W by 2T of x2 minus x1 into L. If I substitute here, I got h is equal WL by 2T of x2 minus x1. From here the right hand side x2 minus x1 is equal, if you send 2T to that side, 2T h divided by omega it will come, and we can treat it as equation number 5. Now from equation number 3 and 5, equation number 3 onwards we know that is x2 minus here, equation number 5, x2 minus x1 is equal to 2th by WL. L means we know that h2 plus x1. So we can substitute here, it is equation number 3, and here we got x2 minus x1 is equal 2th divided by wx2 plus wx1, and we can write the formula, that is h2 minus x1 is equal, now only we got 2th by WL. Earlier we know that x2 plus x1 is equal capital L. So if I am going to adding and subtracting of these two equations, that's simple simplification. Here I get 2x2 is equal to 2th by omega L plus L, and 2x1 is equal L minus 2th by omega L. Therefore x1 is equal L by 2 minus 2th by omega L, x2 is equal L by 2 plus th by omega L. So if x1 is greater than 0, then L by 2 value should be greater than th by omega L. If x1 is less than 0, then L by 2 value should be less than th by omega L. If x1 is equal to 0, then L by 2 is equal to th by omega L. If x1 is negative, then lowest point of the curve lies outside of the actual span, it touches the ground. So if x1 is 0, the lowest point of the curve will be lower support point. Thank you.